Time now for all things real estate, and in studio this morning I'm being joined by the Managing Director of Law Boss Attorneys at Law, Sophia Bryan. Good morning, Sophia.
Good morning.
She's waving to the fans. I like it. All right, so this week we'll have part 2, legal insights into the proper management of land and property, particularly in areas such as inheritance, family land, and of course land disputes.
Okay.
So welcome again.
Thank you.
All right, you're well?
Yes, I'm well. I've gotten adjusted to this early morning situation.
Oh, you're not a morning person?
Oh, I am not.
You understand? You sleep late at morning time.
So I'm really a night person.
Oh, okay. Not me.
And so I realize that when you seize the day, it really does make a difference. But if I'm up early by midday, 1 o'clock, I need a little quick nap. Or some
like a
coffee.
puss nap, as Jamaicans would say. I hear you. All right. For those who weren't here for last week's episodes, we can do a recap, a quick recap of the 4 areas covered.
Yes. All right. So one caller gave me a call, Miss Stephanie. One of the questions she asked was about if your will can be adjusted. So if after passing you've been given something, if the will can be adjusted. All right. And I said to her, no, it cannot be adjusted. But the question she was asking is if something is willed to you, can you decide how the arrangements are made? Can you change it up? So if you're 5 brothers and sisters, everybody is supposed to get 1 parcel of land. Can they come together and decide that they will give all of it to 1 or 2 persons? You can do that once the probate or administration process is completed. Once you are given a gift, you get to do whatever you want to do with it. And obviously, it's a good situation when the family members can come together. In Jamaica, you have a lot of people living overseas and they don't really have any interest. And so once there's cooperation among the siblings, you can do whatever you want with your gift. That's the main thing. And we also spoke about how to go about protecting your assets, protecting the real estate assets, and we're going to get into that a little bit
All
later.
right, no problem. All right, so what we'll do this morning, we'll do 4 scenarios.
Yes.
Pretty much. And you walk us through each and indicating, of course, how each should be handled from a legal standpoint.
Sure.
So let's get cracking. The issue of skipping pre-approval. So here's the scenario. A buyer tours homes, falls in love with one, gets ready to make an offer, only to find out they don't qualify for the price.
Yes. All right. So that's a huge mistake that is made for first-time home buyers or even persons that are buying their second property. When you go through the pre-approval process, it's an opportunity for you to identify what your actual budget is, and it puts you in a position to better negotiate. So say you're pre-approved for 30 million and the property asking is 25 and other people are bidding for the property. Knowing your budget puts you in a position to negotiate a higher offer, and it also lets you know what you should probably avoid looking at altogether.
All right. So the lesson is, of course, to get pre-approved before shopping.
Yes, because it saves time
Excellent.
and money.
All right. Number 2, using all your savings on the down payment. And here's the scenario. A couple scrapes together their entire life savings for the down payment, then struggles to cover the cost of moving, the cost of paying the movers, and of course doing basic repairs to the house that they're moving into.
Yes. So again, why pre-approval? So every step builds on each other. So a lot of persons, when they come to me and say that they're interested in buying property, they think the only thing they need to find is the deposit. They don't think about the fact that there are actually closing costs involved in the process. And so you're saving more than the 5 to 10% deposit. What you actually need is about 15 to 20% to comfortably close the transaction. So if you pay your deposit, there are mortgage fees that are associated with the process. And if you become stuck because you ran out of money, you risk actually not being able to close on the deal. And that's a heartbreaking situation.
So no empty your bank account.
Exactly.
Keep a little cushion, yeah?
Exactly.
There you go. All right. Number 3, not checking credit early enough. And the scenario is a buyer's mortgage is delayed due to an old unpaid utility bill that significantly drags their score down.
Yes, so one of the beautiful things that's happening in Jamaica, we're becoming more comfortable with the language of what's called a credit score.
Yes.
So one of the things I've learned is that even if you owe $1 to an institution, once it's beyond 30 days, it affects your score negatively.
Even a dollar.
Even
Literally
a
a
dollar,
dollar.
even a dollar. So what matters is not the amount,
Yes.
but how long
You're in
you've
debt
owed.
for.
Exactly. And so if it's even, the utility companies, if they put something on your credit report and you have not rectified it, you risk being put in a position where you can't even close. So even if you get pre-approved and then they go back and check your credit score, if it's really low, then you're going to have to rectify that, and it takes a 30-day period for your score to be refreshed.
And Sophia, some people think on that point of the credit score and a low rating affecting your ability to close. They don't understand that these things are very systems based, and so it's not a case where the credit score system communicates that you are weak and vulnerable in certain respects, and then somebody can say override that and change it. You can beg a blie. You can't beg a blie.
No,
The system is the system.
the system is a system, and the mortgage officers have a protocol that they rely on. So even if they know what your background is, if the numbers don't align, they can't go to their manager and say approve this. They're gonna look back at the numbers, and it takes at least a 30-day period for you to clear whatever debt needs to be cleared and restart the process. And on that point, sometimes you may have things on your credit score that you don't even know or remember. And so it's important for you to at least pull your free credit report, go through with a fine teeth comb, look to see what things you have outstanding, clear it up, get the necessary letters from the financial institutions to say, well, okay, this is on the credit score, but they actually cleared that debt a year or two ago, and rectify those issues.
All right, very important. All right, last one. Imagine a woman who legally owns her home, but her ex still so why do you have to be a woman? Anyway, well, let's work with this scenario. Imagine a woman who legally owns her home, but her ex still lives there and refuses to leave. What are the legal options available in that scenario?
All right, so the two critical things that need to be asked in that scenario: one, are they married or are they in a common law relationship?
Common law.
All right, so if it's common law, remember, folks, common law means that you've been living together with somebody for 5 or more years, and that's actually a legal status that's recognized in Jamaican law. So if you're in a common law relationship, or you were in a common law relationship with somebody, you're probably gonna have to negotiate with the person. You can't necessarily just kick them out, especially if that person is aware of the law. So unfortunately, once you have been shacked up with somebody for that amount of years, in the law's eyes, or the eyes of the law, you're a couple and they have some sort of right to your property.
What?
Yes, and so you either need to have a conversation with them about, try and make it amicable as possible. If they don't want it to be amicable, you're going to have to present evidence to demonstrate that they have no shares, they didn't make any contributions, etc. So it's not a simple thing. So
And,
be careful.
and what if you are married, but the marriage mash up and you went and you got an annulment or you got a divorce, but the person still lived there?
All right, so that is also nuanced, but in a situation like that where the marriage is, for example, short, if a marriage is of short duration, then the court will take that into consideration to say, well, if it's only been a year or less than a year or 2 years, then how can you really communicate or demonstrate that you've made a contribution to this family home? And so actually a marriage of short duration, it's easier to sever ties more so than common law. So be careful about these common law situations.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this morning. I want to thank you. You are very enthusiastic for somebody who's not a morning person. So,
Yes.
You should try the mornings.
Yes,
You should try the mornings. Yeah. Listeners, them.
Right, and guys, please ensure that you follow me on YouTube,
Yes.
Law Boss Jamaica, and I'm going to be hosting an estate planning and asset protection webinar tomorrow. Please follow me, 990-7313, 990-7313. You can send me a WhatsApp message, and I will send you the link to register for the webinar.
990-7313.
Yes.
People always quarrel, so we taught the number them too
Oh,
fast.
yes,
You
social
understand?
media handles. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for that prompt. Yes,
And social
at
media.
Law Boss Jamaica, Law Boss Jamaica on Instagram, on TikTok at the Law Boss Firm. Please follow me on TikTok. Hi to my TikTok family. Very supportive community over there as well.
Excellent. And 990-7313 for the
Thank
WhatsApp
you.
contact. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. All the best to you. All right. So that was all things real estate. Attorney at law, managing attorney rather at Law Boss Attorneys at Law, Sophia Bryan, talking about how to manage land and property properly.